Hello, welcome to Peace Camp 2020. My name's Cheryl Gilligan. I'm here at Yoga Nature, and it is my privilege today to guide you through an hour-long yoga practice. Now with that in mind, I'm going to invite you to spend the next hour giving yourself your most kind attention, being mindful not to move over into any sort of pain or anxiety within the body. Instead, when you start to feel that, let it go, move into a more comfortable space. So as you find your way into your comfortable seat, allow your arms to relax someplace, soften your shoulders. Maybe you're going to let the eyes close as you settle into the sit bones, relaxing the weight of the knees. Start to let the thought patterns just detangle. Let them become untethered and drift away as your body sinks more deeply into the earth. And you sink more deeply now into the focus of your breath. Allow your inhales to fill the lungs to full capacity. Allow the exhales to empty out right to the base of the lungs. And as you sit with your breath, start to relax the muscles of the jawline. Start to relax any lifting or heaviness at the shoulders. Let the weight of the body settle down. And draw in another few deep breaths. At the end of that second breath now, release the weight of your head, allowing the skull to tip forward, softening the back of the neck. Give the head a soft little shake here. And when the head comes back to stillness, then breathe in, rolling that left ear over the left shoulder. And when you get there, let your right shoulder get very heavy. From here, you've created space along the top of the shoulder cuff, right to the side of the face, so breathe there. Relaxing the cords of muscle in the neck, just letting the softness of the face fall over that left shoulder. One more breath here. And the exhale rolls your chin, allowing the head to come through center, emptying completely before you breathe in, sweeping that right ear over the right shoulder. When you get there, the left shoulder gets heavier, relaxing down. And the breath moves up and down the side of the neck, the jawline, and the temple. And with one more breath here, this exhale rolls the chin. You'll let the arms drop down alongside you now, keeping the chin bowed as the fingertips start to crawl away and the arms get really long here. When you're ready, flip the palms up and draw your navel towards your low back. Let your breath lift the arms to about the shoulders height and then pause here. The exhale softening the shoulders, rolling the weight of the head. And as you breathe in, continue to scoop upwards, letting the knees draw down as the hands come up and connect right over the crown of the head. And you pull it all down to your heart center. From here, maybe you close the eyes again. Maybe you bow the chin, the nose tip falling over the fingertips. Maybe you set it Nice deep inhale, clear the head space. Let the intention release from you. Breathe in and take the arms upward. Exhale, opening the hands, drawing them down and keeping that right hand grounded. Sweep the left arm up, stacking over the shoulder, and then allow your right elbow to bend softly towards you. Leaning the body's weight gently over the hips, noticing here that you keep nice and tall through the breastbone, not rounding through the shoulders over the hip line. The more depth that you need here, let it sink from your elbow to get you there. So if this right leg is pulling up and trying to follow you over, let it relax in, bring the arm back. And then maybe you're breathing here, taking the breath right through that ladder of ribs in the right side body. Or maybe you're adding subtle movement, rolling slightly as that left arm curls over the head. Maybe as you roll back through, you're bringing this arm right down to about the shoulders level. Maybe you're stretching and reaching out, letting that elbow give you a soft little pulse with your breath. And wherever you are in the movement or just the breathing, make sure that you're not gripping to hold the weight of the head. Let the head be free to move with you. We're here for one more breath. And then sweeping that left arm upward, releasing the right to it. Interlacing the fingers as you flip the palms to the ceiling. Wiggle the ribs right up out of the hips. Take another deep breath here, lifting even taller. And allow the exhale to curl you over, rounding the spine as you push away through the palms. Letting the gaze drop towards the lap or the belly button. And as you breathe upward, the arms lift tall. The exhale separates the hand and ground your left palm. Let that left elbow sink now as you take the right side body, stretching over that left hip. Maybe here you are, releasing the head, pulsing softly with the breath. Maybe you're letting that arm curl over you as you roll across the waistline. Getting a little twist. Just moving slowly as you warm up and find your way into where the body is today. And as you come back to stillness now, one more breath here, sweeps the right arm up. The left arm follows, and this time the palms come right down through the heart where they interlace. Breathing in, exhale them away, round the spine, curling over. As you breathe in, lifting tall, separate the hands, soften the shoulders, give the head a little shake, and let the body softly fold. So you're folding over the legs and the arms are going to relax someplace. I'm going to switch my view just so you can see what it's like from that side angle. The arms are stretched out long and supporting the body. Maybe you're taking a couple of breaths and then realizing, I've got a little bit more space to sink to. And as you breathe into this forward fold, make sure the nose tip is looking down towards the mat or looking down long arms. And with one more breath here, you'll let the exhale walk your body over to the left. Guide with the arms, get a twist through the waistline, and then soften the elbows. Soften the chin. Breathing in here, this exhale walks you back through center. Take a breath and release over to that right side body. Use the arms to facilitate that twist. Once again, notice if the legs are trying to follow, let the lower body really sink in here, soaking up all that grounding earth energy as we wring out the lumbar spine, the digestive tract. For one more breath. This exhale walks you back through center, pulling from the core as you stack the spine and lift tall. The arms go upward. Now you decide, maybe you're transitioning with the arms lifted, offering a little bit more challenge to your core. Maybe you drop and ground those palms securely beneath the shoulders before you move. So when you're ready with those arm choices, draw your core back, lift the knees, and walk the feet out in front of you. Let the legs start to stretch out now as the toes go to the ceiling. Once again, I'm switching my view. You stay where you are, looking towards those toes as you take a deep breath, and fold up and over the hip points. Let the hands land once you find your fold, either on the feet, on the shins, or maybe right alongside the legs. If the chin is trying to pull up over the toes, let the chin relax. Feel that length to the back of the neck here. And then see if you can wiggle the toes. See if you can let one shoulder maybe dip or shift you just slightly. Noticing the changes in the body as you wiggle and move through the muscle groups. Noticing if there's a deep pull or locking in the hamstrings or knees, and if so, get the knees shaken out, get the toes wiggly and working. And you're here in this forward fold now for one more breath. Draw from the core as you stack the spine, planting long arms right beneath your shoulders. And then as you really lift the toes out, extend energy through your heels. Allow your chin to soften here. So you're not lifting up off of the sit bones. Instead, you're dynamically pulling all the weight on the shoulders down through the palms, letting it root down into the earth. You're drawing the navel towards the low back, activating that whole abdominal wall. As you stretch up and down the back of the legs with those toes lifted high, one more breath. And this exhale softens you to your sit bones, takes the hands up to the ceiling or sky, and once again folds and pours you over the back. Draw from the core as you stack the spine, lifting tall. I'm changing my viewpoint once again for you. The legs are going to be wide now. And the hands will skip over the legs right in front of the body. Take a deep breath here. And let your exhale walk the fingertips away. When you run out of breath, pause. Redistribute that softness through the shoulders, the neck, the back of the legs. And then take another breath. Can you find any more depth as you sink over into, eventually, your full forward fold? And in this fold, just begin to notice, are you rolling through the ribs into one side or the other? Can the collarbone become balanced as well as across the top of the hips? For these next two deep breaths here, breathe them right into your low back, right into the sacrum. And start to let go of all the tightness back there, letting it bubble up and out. And then get ready to move. Take that breath in, let your exhale walk the hands till you can frame that right leg. Use the arms now to get that deeper twist to the waistline. As you look down towards your knee now, take a breath, and again, follow your exhale into the fold. Draw the core back and start to stack just about halfway. Skip that right leg and come to center. Shake out the shoulders, deep breath in, pouring the weight as you shift over to frame that left leg. Use the arms now to get the depth of that twist. Take a breath as you look to the knee and exhale right on into that fold. Just explore what wants your attention in these asanas. One last breath here, draw the core backwards and start to stack, walking just halfway up. Skip that left leg as the hands come through center. The core will help stack the spine the rest of the way. Arms go to the ceiling. And once again, just that right hand drops down and ground. Let the body fold. Maybe not to the extent that it did when we had the legs straight. Taking just that little tiny dip over the hip. And right back through. Palms will come together now, right at that heart center as you point the toes and bend the knees. Heel to toe the feet back into alignment till the knees and the hips are right in line there. And then the hands will drop away, grounding. Let the knees just windshield wipe back and forth. Releasing out any gripping to the outer hip. And then the next time the knees come up through center, pause. Let the knees fall open as the feet come together. You can lift the sit bones up and reground them, or you can just kind of wiggle and find what feels really good for your cobbler's pose. Let the hands skip over now to hold on to either the ankles, the shins, or maybe even eventually the tops of the feet. As the spine gets nice and tall now, make sure that you're not leading upwards with the head. The chin can relax as you take a deep breath. And the exhale folds you forward. Letting the face soften over the lap, or maybe it's between the space at the heels and the body. Noticing if you're pulling up more deeply from one side or the other. And then shift your focus again to your breath. Draw the breath in, see if you can balance the body here, taking breaths into each hip joint. And as you draw from the core and roll the spine upward, let the hands come outside the knees, help guide them up, dropping the hands behind you. And then letting the knees just windshield wipe from side to side. Next time the knees drop to one side, pick up the feet and swish them behind you, walking into your tabletop. So once you find your tabletop, you'll start to let the spine arch and move. Stacking the joints here, making sure that the wrist is right underneath the shoulder and that the knee is right underneath the hip. Tops of the feet are going to relax to the mat here. And you'll arch the spine tall as you draw the core upward and let the head and the tailbone start to come together. Exhaling here, breathe in as you sink the elbows and the belly, bringing the head and the heart to a neutral, about the horizon level. Exhaling, pouring the weight down the arms, curling the spine, changing the gaze. And then let your movement become guided by your breath. So the breath is initiating the movement, the breath is completing the movement, and then maybe you're even honoring those little pauses at the top and the bottom of each breath. We're here stretching through, one more breath through each side. As you come back into that neutral space now, you'll shift the weight into that left side body, allowing the right toes to tuck and stretch behind you. Come up to my mat a little better. And then as as you draw from the core, maybe you are floating those toes up to about where the hip is. Now, if you're floating there, make sure the leg isn't trying to peel you up into the ceiling, opening the hip point away from the mat. You can always reground the toes, reset, and lift the leg again. And then you're going to decide maybe you reground the toes so you have 3 points of contact as you slowly release that right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe you keep that leg floating and find your balance as you open up. So see if that leg is floating. Can you really push energy out through the heel? If you're lifted, can you stack the arms right up and over each other? And then check in about where your head weight is. Is the weight of the head pulling down or trying to connect the ear to the top of the arm? Are you breathable? Can you move slightly? And you're here breathing for one more breath. If you have that back leg lifted, slowly ground your toes. As you look down to the grounded left arm, the right arm comes down. Knees pull up right underneath the hips and open a little wider. Hips and heels will pull together and you'll slide down into your child's pose. So maybe the nose tip and the forehead meet the mat. Maybe you bend the elbows and stack the fists or the forearms. But once you've got that upper body settled, then take a breath in, clear the head space. Let the exhale relax you over the hips. 2 more breaths here, breathing right into your low back. And then that second exhale really draws your core, pulling the body back as the arms draw in and you lift and shift back into your tabletop. Switch sides just so I get the other side. From table, maybe you're taking a couple cat back arches, sinking into your cow back stretch. And when you're ready, you'll come back into neutral. Tucking the left toes and sending the left leg back long now. Pull the heel away. Get that nice opening down the calf muscle. And as you guide your weight forward again, so the arms are stacked, you decide maybe you draw the core and float that back leg. Maybe you keep it floating there, maybe you reground it, and then refloat. Notice if you're holding your breath, reintroduce it if you are. And then you're going to decide, maybe you keep that leg floating as you pour your weight down into the right limbs and let the left arm get really light. Floating all the way up, stacking over, and setting that shoulder girdle free. If your right shoulder is trying to pick up or your left shoulder is trying to lift up into the ceiling, let it all melt down into the solidity of that wide open right hand. And then you're going to see, can you breathe here? You can always reground that back leg. There's plenty of spaces to explore here. If you have the leg lifted, can you flex the foot, sending energy out through the heel, letting the toes spread wide. One more breath. And then as you look downward, ground that back leg, bring that left arm underneath, and the knees come up. This time shifting the hips back, swishing them side to side, and restacking into your tabletop. When you're ready, tuck the toes, pike the hips, and as you shift into your downward dog, allow your heels to soften. Let the weight of your head just hang here. Give it a little shake, give it a little nod. Let all the tension melt off of the body as you slowly now start to pedal the heels, lifting one and sinking it in as you bend that opposite knee. And then as you come to stillness, both the heels will lift off the mat, the knees will soften, and as you look to the thumbs, you can step, walk, or float the feet forward. Start to lift the hips as you let the upper body lengthen out. Take a breath here with the arms dangling, and then release into that forward fold. Soften the knees. Breathing in. And then the weight's going to pour down into your feet. Draw the navel towards your low back as you slowly let the weight of your arms get really light, rolling the spine tall until eventually you come into your standing mountain position, rolling the thumbs slightly outward, making sure the chin isn't trying to lift up. The chin is nice and relaxed, maybe even drawn back just slightly. Make sure that the toes and the feet are right beneath the hips here. And then, maybe, squeeze the glutes. Tone into those strong leg muscles as you wrap them around that upper leg bone. See if the shoulders can keep relaxing as your fingertips get heavier. And then as you balance here, maybe you choose to find a focal point ahead of you or on the floor that's not moving. Maybe you choose to close your eyes and feel that strong mountain breath moving through. One more breath here. This exhale roots you deeply into the earth. Breathe in as you scoop that energy up and around you, interlacing the fingers and flipping the palms to the ceiling. Soften your knees. Take a peek down. Make sure that your knees have tracked over your toes. And when you're ready to exhale next, pull the core rounding forward, letting your gaze go to those knees or the lap as you push through. Taking the palms now and breathing them all the way up to the ceiling as you straighten up the legs. Let the body's weight just pour over that left hip. Coming up through center. Push the weight down through your right foot as you lean over that left hip. Back through center, sinking the knees and bringing the arms down. Roll the shoulders out. Shake all the tension out of the head so it's nice and wobbly here. And then as you breathe in, the arms will lift upward. Legs straighten out. Swan dive over the hips. Coming up just halfway. Then let the knees soften as the hands catch you. Switch the knees, and you step the feet back 1 and 2. Now maybe you stay in your upper plank. Maybe you drop and ground the knees. Either way, those elbows are going to soften now, and you'll lower the body either into your low plank chaturanga or set the belly down. And as you push through strong arms, the upper body lifts, the toes tuck, and you pipe the hips back into your downward dog. Let the head dangle, give it that shake, give it that nod. And then you'll move that left foot through to center. Let your right leg lift up to the ceiling. And as you look to the thumbs, step the right foot forward. Get that right knee over your ankle here. The arms are framing, and you can again keep that back leg and knee lifted. You can ground that back leg whenever you'd like. When you're ready, if you have the leg lifted, pivot and plant that left foot behind you. Let the weight pour down into those strong legs as the core lifts the upper body. And then the arms go again all the way up to the sky. Breathing in here, balancing here, just notice, is that left hip trying to pull you open? Can you let the hip point straight to the toes in front of you. If the shoulders are being pinched upward, can you soften the shoulders down? One more breath, warrior one. And then as you exhale, take a quarter turn, opening the arms, bringing them down to shoulders height, but out to their full wingspan. Make sure that this front knee is still stacked over the ankle and that it hasn't pulled back, or to get depth, moved over the toes. If you want more depth here, take that back leg and move it even further away, sinking you down. You can gaze over the fingers in front of you. You can look behind you. Just keep that rich breath offered through the whole body. And then as you wrap that back left arm around you, the right arm goes to the ceiling. Maybe you straighten that front right leg as you curl and lean into that reverse warrior. One more breath, soften the right knee, bringing that right arm down, and you'll plant the forearm right on top of that strong quadricep. Let that left arm release behind you, shoulders height, then maybe you're taking it all the way up over and bringing it back around. So now the fingers are lengthening in the direction of the toes. That whole left side body's lengthening out. Side angle pose, one more breath. Then as you look down to the front toes, drop the left arm, drop the right arm, pivot the foot to face the toes, and step it forward. Hands come up to the shins as you lengthen and lift halfway. Exhale, fold over. Let the weight pour down to the feet as you roll the spine tall, taking the arms up, and pulling everything down to the heart. Pause here. Soften the shoulders. Come back into your breath, noticing how each hemisphere of the body feels. And then when you're ready, your inhale lifts the arms up, lifts the ribs up. Your exhale, swan dive right over the hips. Take a breath, lifting halfway up. Bend the knees, let the hands come down to catch you as you step the legs back, maybe into your upper plank, not piking, but bringing those hips down. Maybe you softly land the knees and the tops of the feet here. Wherever you are now, your elbows are gonna soften, and you'll come down either into your low plank chaturanga, or you'll lay the belly down. Slide the heart through the thumbs as you push the upper body's weight away with strong arms. Then tuck the toes, pike the hips. Downward dog. Let the weight of the shoulders pour down. Get it all into those palms. And then the right foot moves to center. Left leg goes up skyward. Wiggle the toes, roll the ankle. And as you look up between the thumbs, step that left foot forward. Make sure that you have the knee stacked right over the ankle. Decide maybe you're gonna pivot and plant that back foot. Maybe you're gonna drop and ground that back knee. When you're ready to move, the weight pours down into strong legs as you stack the body and lift tall. Once you feel nice and balanced here, then the breath carries the arms upward and the shoulders soften you. So you're gonna find your warrior one, either grounded through that knee, tucked and lifted. You can pivot that back foot so that your pinky toe is slightly further away than your heel. And then you're gonna check with this right hip point, making sure it's not trying to peel open and hitchhike towards that back foot, but instead it's turning and facing forward. As you take the buoyancy of the upper body and add a deeper breath. One more full inhale here. And then on the exhale, quarter turn. The arms go wide, the shoulders soften. you find your way into that warrior two. Again, you can be grounded. Make sure the gaze can look down the length of the arms. Make sure the breath is moving deeply. And then maybe start to shift. Letting that back right arm wrap around you as the left arm goes skyward. You can straighten that front leg. As you find your way into your reverse warrior. One more breath. And as you release, that strong left arm lands, forearm on top of that quad. You can stay, again, grounded through that knee. If you've lifted, see if the arm can come up, and then all the way over. Letting the arm get nice and long, not trying to pop it up out of the shoulder joint. Make sure you're not holding tension in the neck and the head. And then when the next exhale happens, look down to the toes. Lower that right hand, framing the leg, turning all 10 toes in the same direction. If that knee is grounded, pick it on up. Step the back foot forward. Slide the hands to the shins as you lengthen upward. Exhale and fold over. Push through the feet as you roll the body tall. And the exhale comes down to the heart. Now as you cross the feet, you're going to find your way onto the sit bones nice and gently. You can use the arms to help support you if you'd like. When you find your way onto your sit bones, let the feet separate. Is that a better angle? And then drop the hands right underneath the thighs, letting the spine go tall, but not letting the elbows wing out. Pull them right alongside you. Draw from the core as you lift the breath up the spine. Exhale and slowly release the upper body's weight, letting the arms get really long here. Your chin naturally softens here, and then the belly button draws back as you lift the spine tall. Left ear drops over the left shoulder. Breathe in, the spine gets tall. The exhale rolls you back, strong long arms. Breathe in, lifting the spine tall. Exhale, right ear over right shoulder. Breathe in and lift tall again. This time when you roll back, you're rolling all the way down onto the spine. Tucking the knees up with you and giving them a nice little hug. If you're rocking and rolling, the next time you come back through stillness, release your left foot, let it ground down. That left knee's still going to bend to the ceiling. That right knee's still going to be hugging right into the body. And then maybe you are breathing here, relaxing your chin. Maybe you're drawing the core to the mat and rolling the head up off the mat, tucking the chin. So you're looking down to the belly button, making sure that you're not pushing through that grounded foot, lifting the hips. The hips and the sacrum are nice and grounded here through the tuck. Last little challenge. Maybe you float that left leg. One more deep, full breath. And if you're floating the left leg, you'll ground the foot. If you're floating the head, you'll ground that as well. And when the head is grounded, then you'll release that right leg, rolling the ankle, pointing and flexing. And then as you flex the heel away, just slowly bring that leg down. Eventually, the heel will land down, and when it does, you'll bend the knee, opening the arms, dropping the weight of the knees to the left, rolling them back through center, taking a pelvic tilt, lifting and lowering your low back. Hands can come down alongside you, keeping your right foot grounded now. Tucking that left knee up into the body, giving it a nice little snuggle. We're working with the digestive tract here. So we do that right side first, getting the ascending colon. Now we're doing the left side, hugging into that descending colon. You decide now if your foot and head stay grounded or if your core draws down and your head floats up. If your head is floating, make sure the chin isn't trying to stack on top of the knee. Your chin is nice and relaxed. Last little bit, do you float and extend that right leg? And if so, it's going to be about where your left toes are. Make sure you're not holding the body with the neck. One last breath, and if you've lifted that leg, you're going to ground the foot. If you've lifted the head, you're going to ground that now. Release your left leg up to the ceiling, wiggling the toes, rolling the ankle, and then flexing the foot so the heel is away and the foot is flat to the sky, allowing your core to just float that leg down, not letting any part of it drop more quickly along the way. And eventually when that heel touches down, the knees bend up, you'll open the arms to their wingspan, and you'll drop the knees over to the right. Let the knees come back up through center as you take a pelvic tilt. Arms will come down alongside you. And as you move into your bridge now, you're going to push the weight down into your feet, letting your hips rise, letting the weight shift into your upper back and shoulders. As it does that, the chin is just going to naturally soften towards the chest. And then you're going to decide, maybe I'm going to move the feet. Maybe there's a more comfortable, more secure place for the legs. And when you find your sweet spot, let the weight pour down into the feet. See if you can get the belly moving with the breath. See if you can push more deeply and squeeze the glutes. Let your exhale softly float your bridge right back down. Tuck the knees up in and wrap them, curl the head in. Keep the elbows tucking. You're a tiny little seedling here. And on your next exhale, relax the upper body, relax the head. Let the arms pour open to their wingspan. And deposit the weight of the legs all the way over to the right. Once you've released those legs and you're no longer holding their weight, then maybe let the head roll over that left shoulder. Just wringing everything out, letting the body become just very relaxed and effortless. Placing your body and letting breath and gravity just do all the work for you. Soften across the eyebrows and down through the face, taking another deep breath. And then the first thing that moves is the head. Bring it back to neutral. When your neck is safe, pull the knees in, pour their weight all the way over to the left. Don't stop until you've released their weight completely. You don't want to be holding them up anymore. And then the head maybe rolls over that right shoulder. And you start a deeper breath. Just letting everything unwind, bringing everything out. And the first thing that moves is the head. The knees come rolling back through center and the feet ground, taking again that little pelvic tilt, lifting and lowering, sliding the legs out long as the arms come down alongside you. Push to the elbows, adjust the upper back. Let the palms flip upright, the fingers just softly curling to however they're most comfortable. Let the toes flap outward so there's no longer any held rotation at the hips. And then soften your chin, maybe swallow to clear your throat. And allow your eyes to close. Now as you make yourself as comfortable as you can possibly be, to start to let your practice sink into every cell. Let the patterned thinking mind become very calm and relaxed, allowing the thoughts to drift out. And allowing the body to soak more deeply now. As you bring awareness now to the space around your body, feel it being softly cocooned with these gentle vibrations of relaxation. This relaxation soaks down in through the skin, releasing any tension or tiredness from the muscle. You relax more deeply now as the muscles release their tight grip on the bones. The bones can soak down into the earth now, restoring and replenishing as every system balances to full health. And you relax more deeply now. This deep relaxation smoothing across your brow, letting go of any tension from around the eyes. You relax through the temples. You relax down through the folds of each ear. You relax behind each ear, all the way around to the back of the head, releasing the weight of your skull. And with that release, the weight of the thoughts dissolves and drains away. And the headspace becomes clear and uncluttered. And you relax gratefully. That relaxation washing down the length of your jawline. You let go of any hardness from around your mouth. Soften the lips and relax your tongue. You keep relaxing to the front of the throat. Cords of muscle releasing all the way around to the back of the neck as the shoulders relax. And this deep relaxation moves through the arms, into the fingers, into the thumbs. And the hands release their grip now. The heart space softens. You can feel that pulsing glow becoming more and more intense, shining and cushioning the heart muscle, relaxing around the ribs, softening the breastbone, unlocking the shoulder blades beneath you. The muscles beneath the shoulder blades relax now as the upper back releases through to the middle back. The middle back softens and relaxes more deeply now into the low back. That relaxation gently washes over the abdominal wall, and the belly softens. Anything toxic there melting away. And the body breathes more easily now. And you relax. That deep relaxation moving into the hips and down through the upper legs. You relax through the knee joint and into the calf muscles, into the shins. You relax through the ankles, releasing the weight of the heels. And the soft relaxation moves through the soles of the feet right into the tips of the toes. And from the roots of the feet to the crown of the head, the outer body as soft as a cloud, the inner body melted like liquid. And you soak down into the core of who you truly are, beneath the muscle, beneath the thoughts, the light that animates this body, the light that's connected to infinite loving kindness. From that space, you allow a well-deserved few moments of rest. Deeply, completely relaxed. As you keep relaxing, just begin to deepen the breath. Allow the exhales to wiggle through the fingers or through the toes. Maybe roll the head from side to side. Maybe sweep the arms up, pointing the toes away, getting the body really long and full of length. And then sweeping the knees in, tucking the body, curling into that ball, maybe pouring the body's weight from side to side. Eventually pouring the body's weight to one side. The head can be cradled in the upper arm. You can stay there or you can extend that upper leg and push into that upper arm, coming back to a comfortable seat. Allowing the arms to rest out over the legs and softening the chin. Wherever you're choosing to conclude your practice, take a deep, full breath in. Open the mouth and release. Thank you each for joining me. The light in me reflects and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.